Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Being with Bella podcast. My name is Isabella, but I also go by Bella. This is episode 19, which is weird. Like, it feels like a lot, but it also doesn't feel like a lot. It's kind of that in between where it's like I don't have enough episodes to say I have a lot of episodes out, but I don't have so little that it's like I just started. It's like that middle rut, so I'm kind of in that like middle rut spot right now. I did record my very first video episode the other day, which was an interesting experience. I do love the idea of it, and as a newer podcaster, I think something that I noticed is it felt there was more pressure to put on this performance and ensure, like, oh yeah, make sure I'm looking at the camera, make sure I look expressive, very much more fixated on what I look like, which definitely hinders and gets in the way of me speaking from the heart and speaking with my true inner voice. And so that is why this episode has come back to a voice, no camera. But I will say, I'm hoping in the future, as I practice more and push myself out of my comfort zone, I will get back into the loop with the video episodes. So I actually just got to meet with one of my biggest inspirations. Her name is Vanessa Fontana, and she is also a podcaster. She does it full time. She lives in New York City. She is a very cool person. Her values and her message really aligns with my belief system. So it was super meaningful and exciting to get to have a conversation with her. Maybe one day I can even coax her to come on here and speak with me, but I was a little too nervous to bring that up in the first meeting. Yeah, so that was awesome. She's actually starting her own program called the Road Less Travelers. I was discussing that with her, which is essentially just about people who want to pursue a career path or a life path that maybe is not the expected route, or maybe is not what the people around them would expect them to do or what the people around them are doing. It's an outlet for connection with like-minded individuals who have similar life goals as you. So super cool. I'm definitely considering it. One of the pieces of advice that she gave me was talk about things that you have learned throughout your journey and throughout your life. The main thing is to talk about things that you have a passion behind and that you think would help other people who are going through similar experiences that you either are currently going through or that you have gone through. And so that is kind of what inspired me to get this episode going today. I just wanted to chat about the complexity of like having a belief system when it comes to religion and when it comes to spirituality and when it comes to, balancing all of that with science and logic and having that balance. It's a very difficult thing, and it's something that I personally very much struggle with because I am a very spiritual person. I do believe in a higher power, but at the same time, I find that I sometimes lose my self trust because I am so focused on what is meant to happen and how things are meant to play out for me that I lose my self trust and I struggle to ground myself in the present and make everyday choices. And as a chronic overthinker, I very much struggle with my belief system sometimes because I find it hard to have a non evolving set of beliefs. I feel that my belief system in higher power and spirituality is constantly evolving. I am just kind of in a headspace right now where my beliefs are constantly evolving and I'm curious to learn new things. I'm curious to see what life has to teach me, but I also want to live in accordance to my values and what's important to me. And I think that it's so important to come back to yourself. If you haven't listened to my previous episode, it talks about the importance of self-compassion and how being kinder to yourself and just sitting with yourself and being patient with yourself can help you to feel more satisfied in life in general because you're caring for yourself. And so obviously the more you care for yourself and the more you love yourself, the more satisfied you will be in life and content with your circumstances. The reason that's relevant is because I think that sometimes when we lack self-trust, we struggle to be content with our circumstances without having the validation of someone outside of us, whether that's a friend, a family member, someone we look up to, whoever you go to for advice. I think we sometimes struggle with like allowing ourselves to have the values we have and allowing ourselves to want the things we want if that does not align with how someone else perceives our choices and how someone else perceives our situation. And I think it's a difficult thing because It is so important to respect the advice that the people who care about you give you. It is so important to respect them and value their advice and take their advice into consideration. But at the same time, you are the one living your life at the end of the day. And people are always going to have contrasting opinions. Not everyone is going to have the same opinion. Not everyone is always going to understand or approve of every single life choice you make. One like silly little example is I texted my roommate this morning. I was like, "Oh, I'm about to like impulsively buy these clothes." And she was like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it." And I also texted my sister the same thing, and my sister was like, "Do it. Do it. Do it." So that's just a very like lighthearted example. Not a very serious situation, obviously, but people are always going to tell you just based on their own perceptions and their own experiences what they think you should do, and it's not always going to align with your values and what you want to do. So it's important before you check in with other people that you at least have a sense of self-trust and are in a grounded headspace where you're like, okay, yep, I know where my head's at with everything. I'm open to hearing other perspectives, but I also know what is important to me and what I value in life, and I'm going to make decisions based off of that. We hear a lot of the times, listen to your body, listen to your gut, and I think for a lot of people that's something that comes very easily. I personally, and I don't know if there's other listeners that have the same experience, but I personally have a very high alert nervous system. I've had quite a few concussions in my life. It is very difficult also being on medication for anxiety and sometimes feeling disconnected from my body. It is very difficult to listen to my body and truly be in tune with what is actually right for me and what my body is quote unquote telling me to do. The main thing I wanted to zone in on today is values and beliefs and just cultivating our own and how we can go about cultivating our own values and beliefs when they don't necessarily automatically align with those around us, and kind of getting out of that perfectionist mindset of I have to make the right decision, I have to make this perfect decision. Instead of being in that mindset, realize that you have the power to write your own story. And as you write your own story and as you truly live through the uncertainty, as uncomfortable and scary as it might be to do so, you will learn what is important to you. You will learn what is of value to you, and you will learn how you want to make decisions moving forward. You have a choice to either make decisions based on how you are conditioned to make decisions, or you can choose to expand your perspective and be curious about what truly makes you you. Because I think at the end of the day, it comes down to being authentic to what is important to you in life, and that might not always align with what is important to other people in life, and that is where the misalignment can come when we are trying to respect someone's advice and take their advice into account. If we don't have the same values as someone that we're taking advice from, then it makes it much more difficult to justify us making a choice based on their advice without feeling as if it's something we're doing because of an external expectation. So you want to really just come back to respecting the values and the opinions of other people, because unfortunately we can't all align on the same viewpoint on the world. We can't all align and have the same opinions and perspectives on life, which is why there's so much divide in this world. But since we cannot align in that sense, I think the next approach would be to learn to respect values and beliefs that might differ from your own, and learn that their values and like other people's values and other people's beliefs are just as valuable as your values and your beliefs, because you want someone obviously to respect your values and your beliefs. So why would you disrespect someone else's and assume that yours are the correct way to view things when truly it is all subjective? There is no correct way to view almost anything. Obviously, there are scientific facts about life, but we are such complex creatures and our brains are so powerful. We have the ability to view life and situations from whatever lens we want to view them from. We have the power to create the reality we want to create simply by believing that it is possible for us and taking actionable steps to create that reality. And so I think where I'm going with this is maybe learning to And this is something that I'm still personally working on and personally learning myself, but learning to respect the perspectives and opinions of other people, especially if they're people who genuinely know you and see you for who you are and care about you. Having respect and appreciation for their concern is so key, but at the same time, you gotta come back to yourself and you gotta root yourself into your beliefs and your expectations and your values, which are not always going to align with the perspectives of the people outside of you. I think knowing that it doesn't have to be black and white, you can respect and value someone's opinion while also having a contrasting viewpoint on it. I think that trying to force people to see things our way and to think the same way as us is not going to get this society anywhere, because there's always going to be contrasting opinions and contrasting perceptions. And so I think the key really comes down to respect and curiosity rather than actually altering your beliefs and your values to align with those of another person. It really just comes down to having that respect and having that curiosity and having that open-mindedness. So I think I'm gonna end it here. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this helped you become more confident in yourself, but also learn to treat others with more empathy and be more open-minded, because there's always more to learn. There are always more perspectives to think about. You can never know everything there is to know. It is just simply not possible, because you have not lived in the shoes of every human being on this planet Earth. So you're never going to know everything there is to know. And so keeping that open mind and open heart and curiosity for what life can bring you and what life can teach you, and allowing things to be ambiguous, allowing things to evolve, not forcing things to be set in stone if it doesn't feel authentic and aligned with you is okay. I think it feels safer to have our beliefs and have our perspectives set in stone, because it's uncomfortable to step into the unknown and to experience things that are unfamiliar to us, but I also think it is such a beautiful thing. It is truly the key to reaching divine union with yourself and with other people is becoming open, learning and experiencing new things that might make us a little uncomfortable. Apologies, my voice is getting a bit scratchy. Maybe I need to get my vocal cords checked out or something. I appreciate you so much for listening. Thank you so much as always. It means the absolute world to me, because I am a yapper and I can get on my little passionate tangents. So yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day slash evening slash afternoon slash night slash dusk slash dawn. That was the wrong order, but whatever. If you want to see more of my content, I have linked my Instagram and my TikTok below in the description, and I will talk to you next time. Love you so much. Mwah.